Imagine yourself standing on the bank of an ancient river. Mist rises from the water like silent souls. In your hand you clutch a gold coin so tightly that your knuckles whiten. You think, as long as I don't let go, this coin is mine forever. But have you noticed? The harder you squeeze, the more your palm aches, and the coin's edges have already cut into your flesh. My friend, this is our clinging to the I. You say, I am I. But what precisely is this I? Your name? Your memories? Your body? Your desires? Or the furrowed shadow in the mirror each morning, rushing off to work? Let us take it slowly, peeling an onion, layer by layer. Begin with the body. You say, this is my body. Very well. Now close your eyes. Feel your breath. Who is breathing? You? Or is the breathing breathing you? On the in-breath, air surges into your lungs of its own accord. On the out-breath, it leaves just as freely. You have never truly commanded it. Just as the tide never obeys the moon merely smiles and watches the waters rise and fall. Look deeper. Your heartbeat. Tump, tump, tump. Who is striking this drum? Can you say, stop, and make it stop? Can you say, faster, and send it galloping? No. It has its own rhythm, an ancient drummer already playing before you were born. Therefore, the body is not yours. It is a borrowed instrument on which the universe plays a tune you do not yet understand. What of memory? You say, these are my experiences, my past. Are they? Recall a single day when you were 5. You remember the scene, the smell, your mother's apron. But where was the you of that moment? Is the 5-year-old child truly the same I as the one here now? Or is memory a string of old photographs pinned to the wall, pretending to be a continuous film? Memory is not a river. It is fragments. It is light and shadow. It is a handful of neurons in your brain firing now and then like meteors streaking across the night sky, gone in a flash. You cannot hold it. You only pretend you have. And desire? You say, these are my dreams, my longings. Fine. Watch a desire being born. Suddenly, you want chocolate. Where did the thought come from? Did you decide? Or did it simply bubble up, like a growl in the stomach? You chase it, buy the chocolate, eat it. Sweetness explodes on the tongue, then emptiness. The next desire is already queuing. Desire is not your horse. You are its horse. It rides you straight toward the cliff. So, the body is not yours. Memory is not yours. Desire is not yours. What then remains of I? You may protest, at least I still have my consciousness, my awareness. Ah, friend, here is the most exquisite paradox of all. Whose consciousness is it? When you gaze at a flower, who is seeing? You? Or is the seeing simply happening? When you listen to music, who is hearing? You? Or do the sounds pour into the ears of their own accord? The more you try to seize the seer, the more the seer slips through your fingers like mercury. It is exactly like trying to grasp your own hand with itself. The harder you grip, the clearer it becomes. The grasping hand and the hand being grasped are one and the same. Now, let us play a little game. Imagine you are a mirror. In the mirror appear mountains, rivers, stars, wars, love affairs. You say, these are my reflections. But the mirror itself has no color. It has no shape. It has no I. No, the mirror merely reflects. Reflection occurs. The mirror is silent. You are that mirror. The universe reflects itself within you. When you declare, "I see the world," what is really happening is that the world sees itself. Yet you insist on drawing a line across the mirror. You dip your finger in saliva and scrawl upon the glass, "Here is I." At once the mountains are sliced in two, the stars are caged, the rivers no longer flow to the sea, but toward your name. The tighter you clutch that line, the more you lose the entire sky. Now, let us linger here for a moment, with the mirror still wet from your finger. The line you drew is beginning to dry, a faint scaracle across the glass. You stare at it, proud, almost defiant. You say, this is where I begin and the universe ends. And for a while, the trick works. You feel solid, you feel separate, you feel safe. But safety is a curious thing. It is the favorite costume of fear. The tighter the grip, the louder the heartbeat beneath the ribs. You do not notice this yet. You are too busy polishing the line, making it thicker, darker, more permanent. You call it identity. You call it mine. You call it me. Let me tell you a small story. Once upon a time, though time, as we shall see, is part of the joke, there was a wave in the ocean. A proud little wave. It rose higher than the others, crested with foam, and declared, "I am not the sea. I am this curve, this crest, this whitecap. I have a beginning here and an ending there. I am going somewhere." The other waves laughed, not unkindly. They had all said the same thing at one time or another. The proud wave paid no attention. It surged forward, gathering speed, gathering importance. It measured itself against the shore, against the sky, against the moon. It built a story. I was born in a storm. I will crash magnificently. My foam will write my name in the sand. And for a few glorious seconds, it almost believed the story was true. Then, the inevitable. The wave curled, broke, dissolved. No crash, no signature, just a soft hiss, and the water returned to water. The ocean did not mourn. The ocean didn't even notice, because the ocean had never been anything but the wave, and the wave had never been anything but the ocean. You are that wave. I am that wave. Every thought that says, "I am separate," is the crest trying to outrun the sea. Every fear of death is the wave terrified of the moment it flattens. But flattening is not annihilation. Flattening is recognition. The wave does not die. It simply remembers it never was born. So why do we cling? Why do we insist on the line across the mirror? Because the alternative feels like falling. Because if there is no I to protect, what happens to my plans, my savings, my reputation, my pain? Who will sign the mortgage? Who will suffer the insult? Who will applaud the triumph? Let us be honest, the separate self is a magnificent invention. It writes symphonies, it builds cathedrals, it invents the wheel, the sonnet, the kiss. But every invention has a price. The price of the separate self is exile. The moment you draw the line, you step outside the garden. You become the prodigal son clutching a suitcase full of labels: my career, my trauma, my preferences, my politics, my spiritual path. You march into the desert and call it freedom. Meanwhile, the garden keeps blooming without you. The roses do not ask who planted them. The nightingale sings to no audience. The dew forms on every leaf equally, Democrat and king alike. The universe is not waiting for your resume. Now, try something with me. Right where you are, put your hand on your chest. Feel the warmth. Is the warmth inside the hand or inside the chest? Is the boundary sharp like a wall or soft like breath? Press